So I'm Dan.
Our breathing exercises went overboard. I'm Nick, folks, at home.
We are.
Together, we are.
An immaculate
Talk while you're breathing in. Talking. The UnPanders, folks.
Yep,
that's us. That's both of us. You gotta have two to make one. You know what I'm saying here? This is like having babies. Follow me, folks?
Yeah, but you can still unpander on your own.
You can unpander by yourself. Just have some paper towels at the ready and don't let anyone walk in on you when you get there. Oh, man. For the record, we're an 18 and older podcast. If you're not 18 and older, just put this up on like the Circuit City computers. Just start throwing it up all over in Circuit City. Just
back
everyone. Radio Shack. Go back in time. Pull this up. We will blow some minds, folks. That's not all we're going to blow.
Woolworths.
We're going to blow through some records tonight.
Oh, yeah.
World record unpanders mistake-free podcast. We're going to see how far we can go without making our first mistake.
I wonder if they have the longest podcast known to man. I wonder if it's still going.
Still going, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not a mistake, folks. We're still going strong here at the Unpanders. Another quick thing we'd like to say for all the unpers that we refer to our fans as. Mm-hmm. A lot of people watching probably know that. Duh, Nick. Duh, man.
Oh.
Anything we say it's indiscernible from disseminating. You can't discriminate. We don't.
How do you
if it's an NFL tape, you can't broadcast it again.
Without
and you can't
expressed
use
written consent.
Expressed written consent. And it does not reflect the opinions
herein
or beliefs herein expressed by myself or Dan.
Your co-caster.
My co-caster. My co-cast. So everything we say is just dust in the wind, folks. Entertainment value only.
Exactly. Entertainment value only. That's almost a tongue twister.
Almost, but I do have a better one.
Oh, sure. Hit it.
I have a tongue twister for the podcast. Everyone knows I love these things.
It's a good warm-up.
This one I picked up walking along, and I just started humming it to myself, and it turned to words. And the words took form, and I came up with this. Tres tristes tigres tragabon trigo on trigo en tres tristes trastos. Spanish. Oh. For those of you at home, you have a little fun untangling that one, but it's like, it has to do with sad tigers, and they're in transit somewhere. I don't know. I couldn't translate it, but it sounds, woo! Try and say that one 3 times fast, folks. Just try it.
I feel like I'm sitting on a bed, and there's a TV flashing, and the lights glow dim, and that starts to play in the background.
And a lot of weird stuff's happening. Maybe people are floating that you don't want to be floating.
Uh-huh.
The true name of God's being said. And then you hear a voice, Ishi Azuvi. It's Muzzy from those learning commercials. You remember? No?
No idea what you're talking about.
There was like a language learning commercial for children. And it was French, and it was like, teach your kids French and English. And it was like, Muzzy will help them learn. It was this big fuzzy character. And he went, Isha Ajubi. No? I saw the commercial a couple million times. Probably a Nickelodeon commercial.
Huh.
I don't know. I have no idea. Someone look it up and put it in the comments.
Why was his name Muzzy? Like he put like a muzzle on him?
No, he was just a big fuzzy monster. He was like 10-foot tall monster, but he was lovable and fuzzy.
It's a monster that's fuzzy. Oh, Muzzy.
Oh, Muzzy. I think you just unraveled the whole mystery there. Huh.
Oh, fantastic. So what is it we do here? I guess we just talk about stuff. Whatever might come into our purview.
Our purview.
Which is everything.
Which is everything. We finish each other's sandwiches sometimes.
Yeah.
Sentences,
yes.
Unless we're really hungry. Well, really, it's just a couple of friends catching up after a pretty long Thanksgiving break there. You're away for a while. Do you think people who don't watch the Unbanners playing video games, like they'll skip over those episodes? Do you think they skip over? They don't even know?
You think they
about your shitty, awful meal? That's what I'm wondering.
We're gonna come back. Well, I could mention that, but I don't know how quickly I could unload the story, and you've already heard it.
Okay. No, we don't need to. That's fine. But why don't we just smirk or smile? That's everyone's favorite, right?
No, I was thinking like, so Thanksgiving was kind of a disappointment that for lunch. I have to go into it because I was thinking about it today. If you
just bring it up, folks, just bring up Thanksgiving lunch. Just say to this guy 8 years down the road, Thanksgiving lunch. I don't want to talk about it, but hold on.
I just gotta.
Let me talk to you.
I don't know. If you have people staying in your house and it's Thanksgiving, and nothing's open, and your wife is pregnant, and your daughter's pregnant.
Congratulations,
same person. Thank you. How do you not have more than one option for food, which all the options contain carbohydrates and sugar, which is bad for a pregnant woman because they get pre-diabetic or diabetic if you feed them tons of carbs. So there's literally, for lunch, we were waiting 2 extra hours on a shitty French toast meal, which did not meet anyone's expectations. And no one said a damn thing. We just sat quietly, didn't say grace, secretly hated each other, and wished that this holiday would end sooner.
It sounds like church. What you're describing is the Christian value, also known as Mass.
Now kneel in this like broken glass on the ground.
Everyone's just waiting for the holiday to end. No one's saying anything out loud. Everyone's quiet, and we're all folding our hands and just, is it over? How much longer? So really what you experience is the first Mass of a new religion called your family. Interesting.
I wonder if there's actually fun religions out there.
I doubt it, because even if they begin fun, tradition, come on, we all roast a pig alive. It's fun. We did it the first time 100 years ago. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to kill a pig today. And they're like, this is so much fun. The pig's screaming. Everyone's throwing stuff at the pig that it's dying. And you're just like, I can see it.
Yeah, but that pig would be tasty.
Oh, you could eat it afterwards.
Yeah, I come back around.
Great religion. Pig roasting. I don't know. I do notice everyone's having babies. This is a little bit in relation to yourself.
It's the second phase.
Oh, he means second child. You can tell people that. They're not gonna...
Second phase of babies. You get a whole new wave. We're all pretty much the same age,
here,
right?
Hold on. So I try and do this math. One baby is extremely hard. Changes your life. Ruins everything. Babies are awful, for the record. A second baby, is it 100% more bad? So you're doubling down? Or is it like 50% worse because you've already had a baby? It's like, or is it like 70%? And then my question becomes, what's the third baby now? Is that like, you already got 2. It's over. This is like 20% worse. It's not that bad. I mean, it's still terrible and it's still worse, but it's not, you're not 300%ing by the third kid. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think
so what'd you put the percentages at? I don't know.
There's probably 2 scales. There's like, 100% difficulty on the first one, and you
right, because you've never done it,
and then you 100% care.
Okay, I'm following you.
You're probably around 170% effort for 2 kids, but you care probably about 150%. So that drops off a little bit.
Okay, there's a little drop off. What about the third? Are you like 150? Like it's dropped even more. You're like, I'm still caring, but
yeah.
And then like
by then you have other helpers, so you're just like, the first kid will get it.
He's 4. Yeah, he'll babysit him. It'll be fine. Just make sure the door's locked, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey.
I feel bad for the people that have, there's obvious when, a woman has, boy, 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 and then, the third one, they're just like, oh, boy.
No, it's worse the other way. And we're not sexist here at the UnPanders. We do cater mostly to men.
You bring them food, mostly sandwiches. God, you made me hungry.
I just made you sexist, too, really.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
I know, you were just playing on cater. You had no idea. You were playing into a sexual...
Oh, yeah. The funny thing is you think you made me sexist.
I made you sexy.
Open this bag of chips now. I'm going to eat one just so the audience can see. You hear that crunch?
Hold up. Everyone stop. Nobody move. Was that a veggie?
Yeah, it was a veggie chip. How did you tell? You give them to your kid, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Because you think they're healthy.
No, I don't. He just likes them for some reason. He also likes V8, so something's wrong with that kid. He loves V8. He wants to have it. He calls it Gatorade. This is in the same cabinet as the Gatorade. So it'll say Gatorade and point to it. And I'm like, it's V8, but whatever.
Huh.
He drinks it. Warm, cold, he doesn't care.
I hope he continues that through high school. He's the one kid that's just chugging
cracking a V8 at school.
Is he dripping all over himself as he's
It's getting wild
does
here.
Does it turn your poop red if you drink that? It's
I still see him poop. He does the pooping on his own in the body. I still see it. No.
Okay.
I still help out with the wipe. So, there's that.
Wow. I wonder how long brown, or is the red just sucked out of it?
Well, think of every food you eat. There's no food you eat are brown. The only foods that really maintain color through the poop are beets. My parents watched him for a 3-day weekend when I went to that wedding a few weeks ago.
And she didn't give him something blue.
Well, giving him something blue, whatever, I almost would have felt better. He had literally a green poop. Where we wiped him, it was green, and I was like, "Oh boy,
this is sick."
No, like green, like jungle green, coming out of his butt,
like this color green.
Yeah, and I was like, "This isn't normal. The poop's that color." So I called my parents. I was like, "Did you give my kid a lot of green stuff?" And they're like, "He barely had any veggies. He ate a Pop-Tart." And I was like, "No, the Pop-Tart is not what I'm worried about." And they were like, "Nope, nothing." And I said, "I'll keep an eye on him." So I realized that my sister threw a birthday party for her daughter, his cousin. Mm-hmm. When he went, it was a homemade cake.
Icing.
And she tried to make black icing by combining all the colors. She just made a whole bunch of icing, just food color.
It's like a deep green.
And she used most green, so anything. And I said, that was it. And he loves the icing more than any other part of the cake, so makes sense to me.
Yeah, I said blue because my son had a blue birthday cake.
Blue poop.
Yeah, I guess next time you can experiment.
So I don't think it's the food. I think it's the food coloring. Because there's no nutritional value in food color. Right?
So your body doesn't absorb it.
Why would it? I mean, what's red dye? Number 5. We did discuss this in a previous episode in colors, as you'll check.
Beets. It's the part of beets that you can't eat.
Do you have any corrections?
No, I think I am perfect. Yes.
You pronounced it as weird as you can. I am perfect. It's not perfect. It was perfect.
I am perfecto.
Interesting. Huh. I had a quick one. This happened in the colors episode.
Oh, yeah?
I said.
Indigo.
Then in the colors episode.
Indigo.
Something I said. Indigo ahead. Thank you. Like that.
Oh, I'm dead.
I said, if you walk into Sally Mae's headquarters, 300 Continental Drive, you have to park across in the SLM Corporation parking lot. Park your car there. Walk in the front door at exactly 9:35 a.m. on a Tuesday. It has to be a Tuesday. You head immediately to the elevator on your right. You go right past the receptionist desk. Don't say anything. Say hello, Ted, to the guard staring at his TV. He won't even look up. Go in the elevator, immediately push 4, and then quickly press the LL button. You have to press them in succession, or otherwise it won't work. Once you go, make sure you have 2 handguns. Enter the hallway that you will be brought to, and there is a black eagle insignia over a door. It's a black door. Go over to the keypad and type in 4461847. I said, incorrect. I goofed. It's 4468147. Anyway, you can do the rest of your mission from there. I'm sorry if you picked this past Tuesday. You probably didn't. It's a holiday. But if you do it next week, just make sure you have both guns. Make sure it's 4468147. Make sure it's the Black Eagle insignia. I'm sorry.
My guns, he means your arms. Make sure you have muscles.
Yes.
Because we wouldn't condone that sort of nonsensical.
Well, they could have a firing range in the back. It's only for members, though.
That's Sally Mae's.
You got to relieve some stress out there, folks. And it's remember the Eagle insignia. You have to go to that one.
That's why Sally Mae loans are so expensive, because they have to shoot every copy. Just a giant.
Just relieve stress.
Yeah.
That's what they do there, folks. Wonderful people there at Sally. That was a full real burp. You could feel there was almost anger in that one because I was talking about Sally Men.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that if you go there right at this time that they do not give you your loan back and say, congratulations, you are the only one who's ever asked us. If you actually go there, maybe they do give you your loan. Loan freedom.
That'd be nice. I'm still paying mine. Sally.
Yep. It's an expensive load to carry. The burden.
I read an interesting essay on it we'll get to later at some point in a future
website. Famous website?
Not yet.
Money.
Hopefully one day.
Moneyglider.com. I whispered it because it's going to come up later.
In this episode?
Eventually.
Oh, I know. Eventually it will, folks.
It's going to come out.
Well, all you need now is an editor who will do some editing.
Yeah, but I understand that.
It's a time thing, and I think we're getting closer because your editor in Prospective he's read one more since a week ago, and that one was about college and debt and everything. It was very interesting.
Good. Awesome.
I have to read some more, and after I read them all, or he reads them all, he will help you edit them, and you will be well on your way to
something else. Because I'll quit doing Mighty Glide. But anyway, Smirk or Smile, I think we're here. I think I have a...
Go for it, please. Please jump in. Just jump in. Folks at home, if you have a Smirk or Smile, jump in too. We can hear.
Yeah, I wish we had a Twitter feed. Something
Go ahead.
on it. I have
the Twitter feed had recent activity. If you've been paying attention,
I did see activity on that. I did not check what the tweet was. If you tweeted, you're just checking your capabilities.
Yeah, a little of both. I had to log in from my new phone. I mean, I just got it 7 weeks ago.
That's the first notification I had in 2 weeks. It's weird because there's 5 different socials.
Yeah, well,
one.
Hey, you folks, I know you got busy lives. We have busy lives. Let's get busy together.
Not really.
We sure are. We sure aren't.
So I'm gonna. This is before Smirk or Smile. This is just something freaky that I saw today that
pre-smirk, folks. We got a pre-smirk.
Physically made me ill. Physically disgusted.
Someone dropped a croissant. And put it right back on the shelf with the other croissants. Right when you were going to the store to get a croissant, so you didn't know which one it was.
There's a little piece of dirt somewhere hidden, but you can't see it. You can only sense it. You know the germs are there on that bathroom handle of a croissant.
I'm down with it, though. I'll eat a germy croissant.
No, I was watching a podcast where they showed a video of a guy pretty much proving Darwin right. He tied a rope to his nuts.
Sounds good so far.
The soft part, and then he jumped off of a table, and there's no way he's reproducing. I didn't even look at it, and it just made me shudder, and it just broke.
How high up was this table?
It wasn't far, but he went fast. He was semi-running. It's almost like he was running as fast as maybe Leon in Resident Evil 2.
I mean, good use of prop, or it's not a prop. What's it called? A throwback. Good use of Leon. Good use of Leon from Resident Evil 2.
His name just popped up.
You must be Leon, the new guy. Don't move. I'll get help. Yeah. It's probably too late. Such a good game.
As the infection was going up his arm, he's like, I'll just chew it off.
I'll
save myself.
Really a precursor for that Franco movie, James Franco movie.
Which movie?
700 Hours, whatever the hell it's called.
127.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of the movie, so I needed you. I need you to complete me.
Yeah, counterpart. So that was my not Smirk or Smile, but here's my real Smirk or Smile. There's 2 separate videos, and one was a guy. What the hell are they called? They're called Elmers or Nomers or something, or Gomers.
Snowmer.
They stand at a train station and they wait for different trains to go by. So this one guy was waiting for this particular train because he knew it was coming. He's getting really excited. He's like, "Yeah, it's the L52. And then he's like, "Wait a second, hold on." And then the train goes, doo, doo, but it was different. And he's like, "Wait, by that pitch, I can tell that it's a And he's like, it's a 1952 Porsche or something, and then it like goes by him, and he's like, oh, he's like coming. Like,
he really got excited about it?
Yeah, he got super excited. He loved the crap out of that thing. And
was he like autistic or?
No, he spoke normal English, unless it's possible to be semi-autistic and speak pretty well. I'm speaking pretty normal English too, so maybe.
I mean, I'm not. I think the Cumtown podcast, good friends of the podcast, they make a joke that everyone loves.
Something.
Great. I got a text from someone who I haven't got a text from in like a year, and they wrote F. Crosby. And the Flyers are playing the Penguins, so what do you think happened?
Ruined.
I don't even get into it. I don't want to know.
But the same thing happened to a second video. There's a second video of a guy filming a Canadian transatlantic highway, and he got to the spot where they had completed it. Like, there was a little like raise in the road, like a little divot, and he's like, I found it. It's the completion point. And he started running and doing the same thing where he's like, oh my God, it's here. We did it. We found it. Oh my God. And he's like, like he's physically wearing himself out because he found the connection point that was completed probably like 50 years ago. So,
but what makes the connection point so important as opposed to 50 yards down the road where you still need the connection? Is it because I guess that's the last. So the important thing is the last spot to get done, really?
Well, it's like the railroad. Like, they had the two railroads connect, and they had the Chinamen just like...
Were they the right size?
I'm sure they were proportionately small because people back then were smaller.
I meant the tracks. Were they the right size? No, the people were smaller, but we won't demean them. Wow.
I wasn't demeaning Chinamen. I was just demeaning the people back then because they were
right. It was more everyone than them.
The malnutrition I was making light of.
It's making fun of them dying of malnutrition.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the same size. But that'd be embarrassing if somehow they need to change trains because they didn't do the right size. Maybe that's why they always have the two trains facing each other. So you get on one and then it slowly pull away, and then the other one.
You'll never know because of different sizes. Yeah. Uncovered a great conspiracy, I believe.
Was it Fireball whiskey?
No. One, we're not allowed to say name brands, and two,
Fireball's a generic word. You can't.
Well, it's not that brand of drink or alcoholic beverage.
I was mentioning, is it a spicy type of alcohol?
No, it's not that either.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Can I see the cap?
It's just.
Is the cap going to give it away?
Hold on. I don't think so. Hold on.
Is it copyright neutral? Oh. It's cis neutral. Okay. That looks like a vodka drink.
It does. And it tastes just like one. I'll tell you that. Well, folks, my smirk or smile was a little easier than yours and doesn't make fun of people.
It's probably not as good.
It might be, actually. My smirk or smile is a look back on the past and a smirk that I think I may have reached the age where I stopped getting kicked out of venues.
Interesting.
I mean, I forget what made me think of it. I think my girlfriend Ange was saying something about getting kicked out of somewhere, and I was like, I can get kicked out of there. Then I realized I'd been kicked out of Lincoln Financial Field. Props to them. They sent me an official letter saying I wasn't allowed back. I've gone back, but thank you, Eagles. I've been kicked out of Wachovia Center. I've been kicked out of every bar on Main Street in Newark, Delaware. I was even in a game in the Spectrum 2 nights before they closed it down, where the Flyers used to play. Mm-hmm. They eventually shut it down like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was playing in an ice hockey game because they let you play afterwards.
That was a longer time ago than that. It was like 10 years.
10? Someone look it up. It's got to be like 7 or 8. I don't think it was 10. No, it's probably 7 or 8. Anyway, I was playing in a game after the fact, and I punched a goalie because I couldn't score. And 8 guys, and a goalie started beating on me, and my helmet flew off. And I remember just swinging on people wildly like a madman because I was angry. I was frustrated. We were losing by 1 goal. I don't care. I hate everyone. And there's a really funny picture of me, and I'm laughing, and my helmet's off, and I'm holding my helmet, and I'm like laughing, skating away. And the referees escorted me, and I was kicked out of the game. I was not allowed back.
Is it third period?
Yeah, it was like 4 minutes left in the game. At that point, I was like, who cares?
This is the last shift we're going to play anyway.
But it was really cool. They escorted me to the penalty box at first, then they talked for a minute, and I was like, there's like 40 people in the stands because everyone left. It was after the game.
Yep.
And I was just like, dang, all my heroes were in this penalty box. And then they said, you're out. You're not coming back in the game. And I said, yeah, trying to work the crowd, but there was no crowd. So I'm being escorted off the ice without my helmet going, woo! I got kicked out. And it was just looking back, like all my heroes got kicked out of there. Like, that's awesome. I got kicked out of the Spectrum for fighting a goalie. That's great.
Have you ever seen Perfume, Story of a Murder?
No, but this sounds way different than getting kicked out of the Spectrum. Well, it sounds like the story of a murder.
I'll bring it back. So the Perfume Story of a Murderer, maybe, is about a guy who smells so well that he needs to capture scent. So he captures the most perfect scent ever that drives people wild. And the end of the movie, he douses himself in that like scent of like just like wildness, and people rip him apart physically. So if you were a hockey player and you wanted to go out in the most hockey way possible to be killed in a blaze of glory, the most awesome way would just be like you taking every stick to the gut fans, and like stabbing you, like
and like the fans coming out of the stands wanting to rip me from limb from limb.
You get punches because
like different pieces of equipment flying. Like, can you imagine if like a shoulder pad and like a helmet? That's funny, and then like all of a sudden the cup goes flying, and you're like, ooh, he's done,
and your body just dissolves into the ice. They can never get the red stain out. It's like that beet juice, man. It's hard to. You just can't digest it.
I don't know if that's deep or weird or what. Thanks.
You got to figure all the people like Billy Tibbets, Dan Carcillo, Don Bashir. Figure that's how they want to go. The very end, one last game.
Do you know Billy Tibbets was actually arrested for trying to intimidate a witness? Shout out Billy T. I don't know if he listens to the podcast.
Wow.
Hope he does. That's shout out material right there.
He's one of those guys that probably wasted all his money and then couldn't bribe the witness.
But that's taking it enforcer role to the next level. Like, I think he was accused of rape and he was probably intimidating them not to testify. Like, you're a fourth liner for life, bro.
You're heading to the box.
You're heading to the box for life.
Well, I felt good about that smirk and smile. I don't know about you. I feel like...
Dude, got a lot out, you know? It's like almost like... But we're bringing it to everyone's favorite friggin' part of the podcast.
Oh.
Everyone stops me on the street. They say,
when are you
hey, Nick, when are you guys doing the thing? And I always say, what thing? What are you talking about? You know what they say. They lean in real close. They get right on the microphone. And they say... Celebrity Challenge!
It's going to pop like a mother.
Woo! I hope it does. I recently was watching Titanic again.
Oh, again?
I watch it every 4 nights. Like twice a week. I try and get it in there.
You try to dehydrate yourself, right? Get all the tears out.
No, it's on VHS.
Sweat Lodge.
It's on VHS. The only problem is I have to get up and change tapes 1.5 hours through. But it's not I don't know.
Splice them together. You should just splice them into one giant.
No, something about it's more real when I have to change the tape. It's right when the band stops playing and the rich guy is. I'm not going to get into it.
Tilt.
Well, this one involves Kate Winslet, our starlet from Titanic, and Cher. Timeless beauty. Oh my God, I can't even put a time on that beauty. If I could turn back time. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I think they should have an artistic contest where they draw a couple of young 30-something white males in the nude. Would you pose? I'm not telling you which one you get. I'm just telling you. Draw me like one of your French boys, I would say. And I would lean back in a chair like this.
Tiny little.
Now, we do get food that we can bring with us, like a banana or an apple, a couple grapes if you need, a cucumber watermelon if I need. But they have to draw us in the nude, and the winner can auction their picture off for charity. And I figured, what's more beautiful than that?
Huh.
How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good about it, actually.
I'd do it.
Have like a cloak of wolf fur.
I call share.
Blend. How old is she now? Is she even human? Has she become the next phase of human now?
I want to say she's 68, but, I don't know.
I think she can't come to Houston because it's too hot. She's going to melt.
So that sentence was going somewhere else. Folks.
So I guess I call Kate Winslet then.
She's beautiful, too. I'm jealous. I call both of them.
Oh, who do I get then? I'll just be an
Enjoy yourself. Just in the corner. Wait, but you're still nude? You're still nude. Nice drawing. You're just like covering your nipples.
I just see
beautiful.
Can you draw me now? Can you draw me?
I'm ready whenever you girls are. It's not for charity. This one's just for fun.
Somebody out there we found their fetish. Subscribe. Hit the button and subscribe.
Hit that like button, folks. Hit that friggin' like
button. Ring the bell. Get your notifications here. I feel pretty good. That's pretty good.
Good. There's a couple things I can get to. I have a word of the day. It's not too big. A segment.
Where there's a situation. Scenario.
I don't have a situation.
Go with the word of the day first.
Ultra-crepidarian.
I can feel like I'm choking on something.
Ultra-crepidarian.
Ultra-crepidarian.
You got it. It's someone who has opinions in expertise that are outside the realm of knowledge. So you see someone over here and they're like, yeah, something's wrong with my car. And the other guy goes, yeah, I don't know. It's not starting. And you walk up to them and say, could be the carburetor. Looks like it could be a loose carburetor with the wires crossed. A lot of people in the 74 Toyotas have loose carburetors, and you got to check the wires, and you got to do this. And they say like 8,000 things. And everyone stops. And they're like, did you ever work on cars? And he's like, no. And it's like they think a little bit, but Rain Man might be right a lot. I'm talking about someone who thinks they have a wealth of knowledge,
but
and they give you a whole bunch of information, but it's not necessarily true. It's outside the realm of their knowledge. They're literally just talking out their butthole.
Is that kind
but they're an expert on it. It's like they're an expert on it, but you might be lying.
Or kind of like psychics too? People who can like conjure spirits?
But I think, isn't that lying? Or do they think, or if they believe it, then
believe it, yeah, and they could make up all that jazz.
Maybe all that jazz there. Check that out, folks. We got a 1960s salesman here.
All that jazz.
That jazz.
Ooh. Ultra-crepidarian. Why don't I just call them crepidarians? Because that sounds like it covers it.
I think ultra means outside of the realm of normal. Outside the realm of.
So a crepidarian is someone who actually knows what they're doing?
Or someone who doesn't, or I don't freaking know, dude. Use your Latin dictionary. I don't know.
You were speaking it earlier. I don't know.
Listen, I'm telling you as much as I can about it without knowing anything about it.
That's the point of the podcast.
I'm ultra-crepidarianizing. Goodness. Why, hello. I mean, we've probably been podcasting for like a full hour. We can stop now or get into the big series that everyone at home wants to talk about.
Let's go to the big one.
Are you sure you're ready?
Pretty ready.
Hey, guys. Everyone at home. You've been waiting for this. It's the China one-child policy.
Getting political.
No one thought we would go there, but we just went there. When would you say that was started? Like 1964-ish? Ended in 2015? Started with Mao Zedong. It had to do with his success. His success led to such a burst in population that something had to curb the population.
So I did you actually listen to the video? Because the video says 1978.
It was actually official policy in 1979.
But they did it on
They started in 1964 on the down low. So yes, actually both are correct.
Wow.
I did a little research of my own.
And they had some scientists that was judging that the population of China should be 100 million.
So hold on. That was an interesting thing. Around 2010, they said that they were thinking of curtailing it. Eventually, they stopped this policy in 2015, only a couple years ago.
Yeah.
As of January 1st, 2016, you were allowed to have 2 whole children.
2 children.
Wow. Holy crap, people.
Still below the average, right?
I don't know. Let me ask you.
I think 2.3 is the average number of children that people have.
Your average is 2 at this point.
The interesting thing is, I'm gonna take a little side tangent here.
Go ahead.
The fertility. What % of people do you think are infertile?
In China or the world?
The world, or based on the statistics that I read on a website.
Well, I do want to get like a little bit of a basis. Is this everyone in the world? Is this people? Like, is a 10-year-old infertile, or we don't count them?
These are married couples who are trying to have kids.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then, do we stop at a certain age, or like it just, hey, once you hit 70, guess what? Chances are
it's weird because the ages were like 16 to 44, which I guess is a female's reproductive cycle model.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so regular reproductive age.
Yeah,
I would guess 12% are infertile. I don't know.
It's interesting because it's like 8% as a person, like, and like 12% as a couple. Like,
wait, for real?
12%, yeah.
Yo, for real? I made that up on nothing. Damn, I'm good. Holy smoke me. I want to just... I'm panders. I'm sorry.
You just matched.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, one source on the internet you just matched. Congratulations.
Hey, source on the internet, you're actually 100% right. That's 100% proven by 50% of the unpanders. So.
Yeah. But that's kind of, like, I was thinking about, like, if you want to have kids, you have 2.3 kids or whatever. But the people that can't have kids, you don't ever hear about them.
Right, because over 10% of the population. Or 10% of the population,
yeah,
sure.
If you know 10 people that are married, then one of those 10...
One can't.
And it's kind of strange that you don't ever hear about it because it's kind of like a social stigma. Right?
It is. You're absolutely correct. Now, is it a social stigma then to have 9 kids as a couple? Because that would be bad, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's going the opposite way. It's like
one more than the Octomom.
Who had them all at once and made a pornography for let the record show.
Oh, the interesting part is I'm going to bring it back to China.
Oh, they're going to bring it back to Octomom porno.
They didn't blame people who had multiple children at the same time. So there was...
Oh, no, I know this. Okay.
Yeah, there was an increased number of twins. So if you were an Octomom and wanted 8 children in China, you just be like, I had 8 all at once. I can't be blamed for this.
Well, did you think it was interesting that more of these multiple children births were happening in China?
No, because they were like, most of the abortions were going on because they didn't want either a female or maybe they did want 2. So they would probably keep aborting until they got twins, if that runs in their family.
So if we can dial it back for a second, because you're getting into some very good stuff.
Intense stuff.
Very good stuff. They, China's population was overflowing.
It's like 1
Started
billion.
with Mao Zedong, right.
Yep.
Tons of people, and they figured population is going to double, triple, quadruple. As it was, they were having trouble back in the 1960s, 70s with feeding all these people because that was a frick load of people. So that's why this whole one-child thing worked. Now, when you're forced to have just one child, everyone wants a boy.
Yep.
The male carries the name, your lineage, like everything. So if you're only allowed to have one, it better be a boy. I got some numbers for you. As of 2000 I think it was 2004 or 2001. I can't tell. I have 2 things written. Males outnumbered females 117 to 100. That doesn't sound like much, but in a country of 1 billion, it equated to, they figure, it's 24 to 30 million. So this is by 2020, when all of these children are of age to get married and pair off and find a spouse, a lover, or whatever. There will be 30 million extra dudes hanging around in China looking for chicks. That's extra. That's not just dudes in general. That's all the dudes match up with a girl plus 30 million extra dudes.
That's one awkward sausage party, man.
It sure is. They actually ventured to say that it might lead to more sex trafficking, kidnapping women and make them their wives, like weird stuff. Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
It's crazy. What I originally thought when I heard that...
They called it the missing women problem. Oh, you know. Now, what happened to those women? Do we know?
You don't want to border China.
Before we get to emigration, which was where you're going.
Yeah, before we get to what you're thinking about.
Oh.
When I heard about China making this one child policy, I thought maybe it's like a ploy. Maybe you want more men, so you're making a population that is army ready.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
I can see that in theory.
Yeah, you have 30 million extra guys that don't have anything to do.
Hell yeah!
And no one to settle down with. You take
virgins. That's who's our military. All virgins, right? Yeah, angry virgins who have guns and kiss them.
Yes.
Anyway,
you could use those people as expendables, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't copyrighted by a movie.
I don't think so. I can't think of one.
So what was your tangent?
Just the missing women. They theoreticize that most of these back alley abortions, leaving kids on step stools in places, like just getting rid of kids, it was mostly women because we wanted a boy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. A lot of adoptions are Asian.
I got crazy stats from a place called Guangdong Province in Huaxi County. This was in the 1990s or there's a county in the province. There's a county in the province.
Okay,
it probably wasn't a city. It's probably just county. Huaxi County. They estimated by like 1990s, sometime in there, which was pretty recent, like not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
They had quotas on people who they thought were having a second or third or fourth child. They forced 20,000 abortions and sterilizations in a 1-year period. Hold up, because it's back alley, no internet, no anything. China. They could do it in a woman up to 8.5 months pregnant.
Oh.
Check this. The way they did it is called intrauterine installation abortions.
And they add like something like
saline solution. So they'd add a saline solution directly to the birth sac because that would kill the fetus because I guess all that salt is directly absorbed by their skin. Huh. You have to get it into the sac, and then the whole everything would contract and try and expel the salt water.
Huh.
What they noticed is if they just added an algae, some kind of brown algae into the solution, like they would have the whole process done in like 14 hours as opposed to 24 hours. So they started doing that. Like, that's pretty cool.
Wow, that's weird. You're just like, hey, this thing aborts things better. Let's throw in some algae.
Yeah, and it's like, what? So, I was like, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. This abortion's ridiculous. Thank God we live in the United States. Well, did you know it was used in the United States up to the 1970s in like 20% of the cases?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so hold up. As of 2003, 1% of the population still uses that method. That was 2003. I mean, that's over
a long time ago. I mean,
it's not that long ago, dude. Everyone born after 2000 seems like a young buck to me. So they survived that abortion.
Yeah, now it's probably different because they probably put it in a pill.
Probably
something else.
It had a super low mortality rate. Great. 2 cases resulted in live documented births, baby.
Woo! Oh yeah, 2
Call
cases.
Them survivors. If you're a survivor of intrauterine installation abortion, contact the UnPanners and we will get you on here maybe. If it's feasible and easy and you have an internet connection and a camera.
Yeah, that sounds logical. The amazing thing is that, like, I'm having my second child,
mm-hmm.
If I was in China before 2015...
Oh, jeez. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Would that mean a sterilization for me or just my wife? would be like, you broke the law.
Her. Listen, I was just having regular old sex, and she got super pregnant. I didn't get pregnant.
That's a tough
thing. She got pregnant.
That's a tough thing.
It's weird.
The other
do you want to touch on the 421 problem?
Oh, I was going to go. That's exactly where I was going to go.
I know. I could tell where you're going. I'm pandering. Come on, man.
So you're the oldest, right?
I am.
I'm the youngest, so I wouldn't exist. If we were in China, I just wouldn't be here because I would have been saline injected. I would have been a survivor. I'll tell you that.
Number 3, folks.
Number 3.
Number 3,
shit.
Right here.
But it's a crazy thing to think about that, like, you wouldn't have any siblings. I wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
You would have no cousins, right? Is that accurate?
Cool. No, well, not necessarily, because that's your mother's brothers or sisters. Oh, because she wouldn't have brothers or sisters, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
So you don't have any cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's long enough, if it's now such that
been in effect for 30, 40 years, sure.
Yeah, that you're the second generation. That now you have 2 parents, and then you have 4 grandparents, and you're the sole provider.
So you're telling me a pyramid, 4 grandparents, 2 parents, 1 child. The old pyramid. Are we running into a problem with China's population? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I don't know how they couldn't foresee that. I mean, you're not replacing the same people that are there. You're becoming top-heavy. So China is super old right now. The same thing with Japan.
Getting older. Get older, brother.
Yeah. So, like, what do they do?
You got a number?
For what? 421?
Okay. Yeah. China will lose 67 million of the working force by 2030. Now, they have a lot of people, 1 billion, but 67 million people will be gone. I don't know that they'll have enough people to replace that. I don't know. How about this one?
What's the population in China?
1 billion, let's say.
Let's see, 1.379 billion.
Wow. I guess they went off because people are still being born.
Yeah, India is catching up. They're almost equal.
Ooh, in a smaller area. I bet you they poop in the streets.
This is terrible, but when people die over there, it's common that they dump them into rivers, apparently. So,
I mean, you run out of room? I don't know.
Yeah, funerals were expensive, so they just kind of let them float away. I was just listening to somebody talk about how they were on a boat in India, and they're just like, a corpse would show up, and they'd be like, oh my God, and they'd be like, don't worry about it, it's normal.
Keep going.
Man, that's best. That's messed up.
It is. Here, one more stat, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
By 2050, that's quite a distance away. That's like 100 years away, right? Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there. 1/3 of the country will be over 60.
That's a lot. That is a lot. And the crazy thing is that the people in the middle don't have any family to rely on. Like, imagine all the stuff you go through. You have to rely on friends.
Right.
If you don't have any friends, then you don't have any family you could talk to.
Do you think this is going to result in something crazy like Chinese banish their elders to the desert or something ridiculous? Because they just can't. Like, you know what I mean? It's either die or let them die. And they're like, well, they're over 70. Have a good life, grandpa, grandma. And then they're just like...
That's the problem with dictators. I think dictators come up with the wrong ideas and they don't think it through. And, like, this is one of the ones that's obvious. Like, you may not be able to meet a food shortage, but that hasn't happened yet. But you're definitely going to go run into a problem when you have 4 grandchildren, 2 parents, and only 1 child.
Issues. A lot of issues.
Yeah. And a lot of the people say that, so like if you're wealthy in America and you're making enough to support 2 people, and that's happened twice now. So your grandparents, there's 4 grandparents, they were able to make enough to support themselves, then their children, who are your parents, are making twice as much to support whatever they need.
So you would need like 8 times as much or 16? Am I doing the math right?
I'm not saying that the child would need 8 times.
No, the parents.
But the parents are already well off. So there's these
you're assuming
people,
okay.
The child is then showered on.
The little emperor.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
Yep.
Okay. I see.
So like you become I guess this is a society of Trustafarians, right?
Well, and think of this. Not only are they spoiled brats, they're spoiled boys.
Exactly. They're all dudes looking to steal women from local countries.
And guess what, homie? Ain't gonna happen here in America. Our women are liberated. They're free-thinking, and they listen to the UnPanders, one of the more feminist-leaning podcasts in Eastern Philadelphia, Northeast area quadrant.
In South Texas.
And South Texas. Boom. Look at us.
Yep. And
ladies.
Our women are spreading themselves thin or really, really thick, depending on how you want it.
We like them thick.
What other? It's just a crazy thing to think about. Like how much wealth America has, and if we were to institute the same thing, you get so many douchebags that there'd be a country of douchebags.
We already have them, so there'd be more.
Yeah, unbelievable amount of douchebags.
Unfathomable. Did I say that right? The fifth time?
Unfathomable.
You chickened out too.
Unfathomable.
I do want to take a moment to talk about something I recently bought into. Most people going to college probably listen to this podcast. Most people who professionally play table tennis probably listen to this podcast. Most people who casually play beer pong probably listen to this podcast. We're number 10 in sales, if you count just us. We're number 1 in listeners, if you count just us. And we're number 2 in things I watch on YouTube when I'm bored. I mean, there's other videos, but I come back to this.
Yeah. Because
I
make you.
One thing we all have in common, ping-pong balls. Wow. You buy them from the dollar store. You buy them from the grocery store. Who cares? Hold on. It's a 40-millimeter ball. Lately, they've been made out of plastic. Well, they switched to poly, folks. Catch up with the times. Switch to poly. They make 4 different major brands of ping-pongs. Only ones recognized by the ITTF, International Table Tennis Association. Don't ask me why it's F. It's a Chinese thing.
Federation. We'll get into
that. It's called association, though. In another language, it might be federation. Anyway, look it up. I don't care.
I will.
There's 4 major brands you can buy when you go to the store. There's the DHS. There's Seam 40 Flush.
It's federation.
It's association.
Fine. That's fine. You can believe whatever you want.
I sure will.
This is America.
The DHS make theirs in China. They're a Seam 40 plus. There's Double Fish. They're made like this out of a different material. It's a 40 plus seamed. Then there's Zushu Appa. They're seamless 40 plus. They're made in China still.
Perfect Sphere?
They don't claim Perfect Sphere. Hold on. Last one is the Nitaku. It's made in Japan only, and it's perfectly seamless.
Wow.
Hold on. They've done testing. They know which one's the best. You want to guess? It's the no seam.
Wow.
No seam means no mold. There's no uneven weight, and there's no thick variation up to 0.001 millimeters. It's guaranteed. You buy one of these, it's going to bounce crisp, clear, and go wherever the flying F you want it to. It's guaranteed. Look up Nitaku, Japanese brand. Do you know they're rated on a 1 to 3 star system for ping pong balls?
Really?
No one knows that. Guess what? Nitaku, the Japanese ones, they're a 4-star rating, folks. I'm talking 4
out of 4 stars. 4 out of 4 or 4 to 5?
4 out of 3. Trust me. $18 for a 3-pack of these. Let me tell you what. Worth it. Best investment I've ever made in my entire life. You don't buy a Zushafu training ball, though. They look very similar. They're seamless. Don't buy it. All I'm saying is, here are the UnPanders. We buy the finest materials. We stand behind our products, and we think you should too. Check it out, folks.
This is amazing. I love being alive at this time because I could see. I just searched Nitaku ping pong ball and how it's made did an episode on it, and I'm watching them make it. I'm watching them how they form two hemispheres, and now they're merged together. And there's a seam, but now they're going to fix the seam part of it by...
I never saw how they did it.
Magical process. I don't know. It's going to skip right over it.
Oh, copyright.
I think so. They have little Chinese fingers shaving off each seam. Oh man, this is intense. This is the most excited I've been in about 10 minutes. They have an assortment of different testers. They have a thing that splits it and it's like a, that thing on not Shop Till You Drop, because that was in the 90s.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Price is Right.
Yeah, Price is Right.
Plinko.
Yeah, Plinko.
It's like Plinko.
Yeah.
They measure it that way to see that it doesn't deviate. It's nuts. Nitaku table tennis balls. 4 out of 3. And panders. Buy it here.
Wow. Folks, I was annoyed that Dan was trying to double check me and look it up, but the fact that we came up with the same results.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Buy in, folks. Buy in.
I couldn't believe that it's not a perfect sphere.
Or smear. It's not a perfect smear.
I was getting hungry. I was thinking about bagels.
Or pap.
Yeah. Good, yeah. All the time. Old Pappy.
I always hate to bring the podcast down.
Oh, no. What did you do?
Well, you don't know who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about. It just...
I did see a comment.
Someone who follows the podcast religiously. He's one of the great followers. I advise you all to follow him on all his Insta, Twitter. I don't know any of his names, but it doesn't matter. He's not important. Don't follow him.
Stop commenting.
But anyway, follow him. He stopped Facebook. Good for him. He has a lot of problems, a lot of sexual urges, a lot of issues with his relationship. I say stay away from Facebook. Well, Dildan did it again, folks. His girlfriend left. We'll call her Diana. She left her Facebook open, and he went on.
Oh, no.
She's been DMing, or whatever it's called, Facebook messaging someone about hepatitis D. Has anyone even heard of this?
Man, she got the variant.
Yeah, so hold on.
She's making the variant.
She's in quite a predicament. Hepatitis D, if I'm reading this correct, it affects your lungs and the antibodies, and it's not a joke. It's fairly serious.
Is the D from the Dildan?
No. That's the exact problem. The only way you can cure hepatitis D is to exchange bodily fluids with the person that gave it to you. So Dildan doesn't have it, and he's done a lot of research. He's talked to a couple doctors. In her history, he's really getting nervous. Hold on.
How many bodily fluids and what quantities? They have to be in an unmarked bag.
Here's a question. You can do it. They have to be fresh. Diana has talked to Dildan, and said that she wants him to meet her ex-boyfriend, Ross Dithers. So Dan thought nothing of it, except this is a week ago. Now that he knows this hepatitis D thing, he looked Ross Dithers up. Look him up, folks. He's a bodybuilder from London. He's 6'5". He's huge. Muscles the size of melons. Why does she want Dan to meet this guy all of a sudden? What does hepatitis D have to do with it? If she has to exchange fluids with Ross...
He has to exchange fluids with Ross as well.
I don't know, man.
It's
blowing my mind. I have yet to hear from him. He hasn't gotten back to me, but why would she want to meet with this guy? Do you think they're just going to kiss? Like a 3-way kiss? Or is it worse? A 3-way poop?
Kind of fluid. It is kind of liquidy sometimes.
I don't know. I'm worried about it. But anyway, that's what Dildan's been up to. And at the podcast, we really worry about him. Just whatever. Get back to us, Dildan.
Just film it. Just film it and tell us what happens.
Anyway, that guy is huge and jacked. Ross. So, Dildan, if you have to exchange saliva or whatever, no shame there, dude. Go for it. I say go for it. Whatever to heal her. I mean, if not, he's being selfish, isn't he? Cure disease, Dildan.
Yeah. Praise
Cure
Jesus.
Disease.
Praise Jesus.
and praise Jesus. Anyway, let's move on. Getting depressed.
I feel fantastic, actually.
You know what? Here, last one. I'll do comments from the ether. You guys like to post in our comments all the time. I'm not going to say which. I'll find out which one it was. Twitter. We got a Twitter. What is the Twitter?
Twatter.
At Unpanders, right?
Yep.
We got a website at theunpanders.com.
Oh,
right?
God. No.
Unpanders.com.
Yes, that's it. It's up top. Unpanders.com.
It's up top. It's right over my face. I can't even say it.
Yep.
We got Insta, maybe. Do we?
Yes, we do.
See? We got all these socials. I want y'all to go there. Well, I read something on the social today that I wanted to share because I thought, damn, that's a lot of commotion. That's a lot of, there's just a lot going on. So from the ether, I'm going to read a little thing here I saw and it really caught my eye. Chad Smith loses it. Oops. He's just joking. Of course he ain't serious. Chad's like the coolest guy ever. Smiley face. And that's from Red Hot Chili Peppers Live. It was 5 days ago. Next comment, though, was a direct comment against it. Not at all. You can't lie. It's obvious he was pissed. But he started it by being a pompous ass denigrating Europeans by calling them weird. SS dash 2 days ago. This is getting crazy. Third comment under that. He was calling European prog rock weird. Not Europeans, unless I'm mistaken. CAK music. This is 2 days ago. So I checked, and this is a lot of comments for our YouTube page, but I also think it may have been from when I Googled Chad Smith loses it after fan yells Will Ferrell at him. So I think it was that. But either way,
I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Oh, shit.
Shout out to the people commenting on our site.
Yeah.
I think it's really, even if it wasn't our page, I think this was a different page about a different thing. It could have been about our page. I'm not sure. It makes more sense if it was Chad Smith losing it after a fan yelled Will Ferrell at him. Could have been in our Colors episode, though. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to have to check the analytics on that one.
Mm-hmm.
To double check, make sure the streams didn't get crossed. It's kind of dangerous that way. Those internet tube streams.
Holy smokes, folks.
Yep.
Holy smokes, folks. That's my new saying. Start saying that.
It's a tongue twister. Oh,
sure.
Man. Wow. Well, I guess it's that time in the evening.
I think it is.
Relax, have your favorite beer, listen to a podcast, and enjoy.
I listened to this one. I'd listen to this one.
I think we would.
Mm-hmm.
And will.
Mm-hmm.
Second in the playlist. Unpanders.com, folks.
Check all our socials. Don't just listen to one or check one. Google all over. Go to this website, that website, touch this program, download this, tweet this. Who cares? Just check us out. Just check us out.
We like it.
Wow.
I like it a lot.
We like you
folks.
a lot.